Hey my dudes, welcome to my apartment bakery. Friday is mini cake day. As some of you may remember, when I started, I had 12 mini cake molds. Then over the summer, I was able to get my hands on 36 more thanks to my mom, so I had a total of 48, which was perfect because I was selling 45 boxes. But this week, since I have so much time now, since this is my full-time gig, I was like, oh, I'll just double it. This was super great because I don't know if you guys know this, but I actually love hand washing 48 little aluminum molds by hand twice in one day. It's so much fun. Good thing I freaking love these little mini cakes. It makes all the work worth it for sure. The molds got all greased up with cocoa pan release and I made the chocolate cake batter. I have started blending my eggs with an immersion blender before adding them to batters and stuff, and wow, it actually makes such a difference in these large batches. Like, it really helps get everything incorporated so much faster and easier. If I was using a stand mixer, I wouldn't have to do that, but I think it's easier to make one big batch of batter in the large pot, which is the largest vessel that I own, than it would be to make like 4 batches in my stand mixer. I will do anything to do less dishes, except take mini cakes off the menu, of course. Speaking of dishes, I made 3 rounds of cardamom Swiss meringue buttercream. One day I will have a bigger stand mixer that has multiple bowls, and I won't have to wash every single thing after I use it, simply to go back and use it again, but today is not that day, and it's actually kind of nice because it forces me to stay on top of the dishes. All the buttercream whipped together really easily today, and I was able to make a round of buttercream while the cakes baked, so I just went back and forth between the two until they were both done. Then I knocked out round 1 of the cakes. I slide an offset around the edges, flip each mold upside down, pull it off, and slide the bottoms off. Once all the cakes were unmolded, I wrapped each tray in plastic. Then I washed all the molds and it was time to start all over again. I brushed each mold with pan release. I made the same chocolate cake batter as before, and I poured in exactly 110 grams of cake batter into each little mold. While the second round of cakes was getting baked off, I started the poached pears. I kept it really simple and just simmered peeled pears in simple syrup. I didn't want to do wine or spices or anything. I wanted the pear to taste like pear. In retrospect, I should have bought some pear liqueur and thrown that in there, but we live and we learn. Next up was snickerdoodles. Again, I didn't want to make 2 batches, so I just made a ginormous batch in my large pot. The dough came together nicely, and then I got to scooping. Each scoop got tossed in cinnamon sugar before getting put on a tray, and we'll get a second coat of cinnamon sugar tomorrow before baking. Once those were all scooped, all my cakes were done. At this point, I had been so annoyed with my bangs, I had bobby pinned them back, thinking to take the pins out once the camera was rolling, but I forgot. It looks a little dorky, I know, but I could not stand my bangs anymore. I wrapped the cakes up, and that was Friday. See you tomorrow. Hey, Dua.